Here's how Prairie did this morning. We worked a little bit on changing bend. So there's a change of bend at the walk. So here's Prairie dragging very slowly on a circle to the left. When he's moving so slowly at a turtle's pace, you give him any aid at all and he'll overreact. I'll give him a little turn in to make him close the circle, and he'll do a 90-degree turn in place. So to remedy that, I started walking him around on the long sides of the arena. This is him cutting across the diagonal. Just not telling him to do stuff all the time, just letting him walk, kind of letting him free up his back a little bit, because he's been standing in the pen all night. And he does have a longer stride behind. He's already starting to slow down here. When he passes the buckets, he thinks he's supposed to slow down and do something. So this is him walking around. Now this is toward the right, and this is always his better direction. But he's walking around a bit more freely. I remember last year I was just doing a lot of walking in circles with Samba and controlling her by turning my belly button to the inside and to the outside and making the circle bigger or smaller. And she started to reach down so beautifully when I did that. So I'm kind of trying to do the same thing here with Prairie. Encourage him to walk and to lower his head. So we just made a turn to the left, and you can see he started dragging again. So we come around the corner here, and I'm going to ask him to halt. Oh, that was so pretty. Gosh, look how nicely he's softening. All right, so this might appear kind of dull, but there's lots of good stuff happening here. I'm asking him for turn in, I'm asking him for move out. When he does well, I give him a little pat on the shoulder. And I'm just getting such a good vibe from him. So there I was asking him to stop, and he stopped for a millisecond, and then I let him go forward again. There I'm asking him for turn in. I'm really lifting the inside rein high and toward his ear so he can feel it better. And I moved his shoulder over with the outside rein. He's just getting so much more steerable than he ever was before. So I'm really happy with him. It has actually started to become fun to ride him. For the longest time, I found him so frustrating. I was frustrated with everything he did or didn't do. But he was giving me everything he had, and it wasn't his fault that I had hang-ups. Anyway, it started to become a whole lot more fun. In fact, I started trusting him enough, I took him out for a trail ride. And I prepared him a little bit by riding around in the arena with Baja here, Dave on Baja. And he's very focused on me. He's really listening well and paying attention to me. He's not going nuts just in being out in this new environment. He was stumbling on these rocks. This way.
I'll give you the boot if you don't get going.
Don't give him the boot.
Her.
Yeah, don't give her the boot. You doing good there, Prairie? Yeah. Okay, we'll walk down to where the big rocks start in the road here. And then we'll turn around and go back. Because I don't want him to rush back.
He's doing real good.
Yeah, he is. He's interested.
Yeah.
And he's having a good time, but he's still obedient.
Yeah.
Look how slowly he's walking, because I'm keeping him from taking off. I mean, he doesn't feel like he wants to take off, but...
Yeah. You want to stop?
I was just kind of...
Let's do stop here for a second.
There, good boy. Oh, that was good. Good walk. I just want to make sure he will stop. All of that was so fabulous. Okay, now we're working on developing the halt with Samba. And there's something interesting going on here. No matter where we are in the arena or what direction we're going in, whenever she stops, her right front leg is always back. And her right hind leg is always forward. I don't know what to do about that, but it just seems like an interesting observation. She always stops in exactly the same stance. That right front leg is always back. So I wonder if somehow I could rock maybe a little bit to the left every time we stop, and maybe that would indicate to her to bring her right front leg forward. There, she just tripped a little. I don't know, what do you think? She is kind of getting softer when she stops. She doesn't stop so abruptly. But her right front leg is always back and her right hind leg is always forward. Maybe I start carrying a whip and touch her right front leg to bring it forward? Or maybe this is something I could teach her in groundwork to square up? Now on this particular day, we were doing halts and she actually moved her foot back in order to square up. And I'm even looking at her feet like, whoa, what happened? So on a different topic now, I was thinking about our discussion of posting. And as I flashed by there, you saw me posting at the walk. I thought I would try doing this at the walk so it wouldn't alarm Samba when I tried doing it at the trot. Strangely enough, it looks like I picked up the correct diagonal. That was sheer accident. Because I'm actually going up every time her inside hind comes forward. And there's something that I notice about this. Apparently, I have something of a chair seat. Because I tried posting at the trot and it just seemed like no way. All my weight was on my butt and I would have to really hoik myself forward in order to get up on those stirrups. Now granted, her trot doesn't have a whole lot of oomph to it, so she wasn't really giving me a boost with each stride. I figure I'm gonna have to master this posting thing as a matter of survival when I start trotting on Prairie. I'm not going to be able to sit to his trot because he's got a big, bouncy trampoline kind of a trot. He's going to be giving me plenty of boost, but maybe I also need to adjust my seat. It looks reasonably balanced there, but I think my center of gravity is too far back and my legs are too far forward. Starting to do a lot more trot with Samba, and I realize I don't even have to be on her to trot with her and give her the exercise and the bodybuilding training and the stretch and all that good stuff. I can just walk along and take it easy and she'll do all the work. All right. So I'm going to do some changes of bend at the trot with Samba. She's doing it pretty easily now. It only took a day or two for her to really twig onto this and really understand how to do it. She almost stepped into a walk there, but she didn't. I want her to continue to trot for longer periods without breaking. She just staying super round, super rhythmical. And we come around this corner here, and I kind of let her get too straight. She lost her bend and lost her balance. But we just regroup and go on. So we're going around the circle again, and I remembered, oh yeah, I need to work on my posting a little bit. So here I start lifting myself up. It's not continuous. I'll do a few strides of rising and then a few strides of sitting, kind of intermittently. This is the first time I've ever tried posting on Samba. And she's being a good little superstar here. She's not being overly reactive to it. I was trying to think more forward and back and not so much up and down. Samba's tail seems to be undulating, so that's a good sign. She gets kind of worried anytime she feels tension in my legs. And doing this posting and hoiking myself up, that kind of causes tension in my legs. But she was starting to accept it here. But I'm kind of getting the feeling of it a little bit. I mean, if I had to post in order to stay on the horse, I think I could. I'm sure I'd be scared, but I think I could. She got a little stiff there, and I raised the inside rein, and right away she went right back down. Still working on my intermittent posting here. Can you see that? It's kind of far away from the camera, and I'm trying to zoom in order to get a look at different things, so it's not ideal. After one of our training sessions, I just thought I would try out Samba, asking her for a canter. And at the moment of breaking into a canter, she does still toss her head a bit. I just thought at the trot, it felt like she was getting more powerful, and I just wondered if she would be capable of doing a balanced canter depart. And as crazy as this looks, it's a huge improvement over what she used to do. Her whole front end would come up and she'd rear and leap into the air to change into a canter. So this is improvement.
Canter. Good girl. Yeah, that was a real good try. Okay, that's all we're going to do right now.